Hello, this is Julie, and welcome to this beginner's class. So, obviously, this won't be anything too extreme, but we'll go through postures that will help you build strength and mobility, that will help you prepare for more challenging things in the future. And we'll just work on general things that beginner yogis may struggle with. So, with all that said, let's get right into it. So, sitting comfortably, hands resting on the knees, rolling the shoulders back and down, and then closing down the eyes, just reconnecting with the body and reconnecting with the breath. Let's take one deep inhale in through the nose, one deep exhalation out through the nose. And then gently opening the eyes, we'll find our way to hands and knees, pushing into the palms, pulling the belly in, and we'll take some circles here with the wrists. So on your inhale, circling the weight forward into the wrist and then back. So going from the right side over to the left and then back to center. Then switching direction, going from the left to the right. And you can experiment with how much weight in the palms feels comfortable. And just preparing the wrists for our practice. Alright. Okay, on your next inhalation, we'll round the spine for a cow. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, rounding through the back, looking into the navel. And inhale, lifting. Deep stretch. And exhale, pushing the floor away, looking to the belly. And again, inhale. And exhale. And then coming back to neutral, we'll step the right leg out to the side. I'm just going to turn to the mat so you can see and mirror it for you. So extending the right foot out to the side, so a half straddle. Then we'll take our cat-cows once again. So inhale, arching, and exhale, rounding, looking into the belly. Continuing at your own pace. Thinking about pushing the outside of the foot into the mat, engaging through that right leg. Let's switch the sides. So left leg comes out to the side. And deep breath in. Exhale, rounding. And continuing. And then bringing that left leg back to the middle. On your next inhalation, let's dip the hips forward, come into a cobra. So rolling the shoulders back and down. And then on your next exhalation, pushing back to a child's pose. So we'll keep this movement dynamic for a moment. So inhale, rolling forward, finding your cobra position. Exhale, pushing back to your child's pose. Deep inhale, rounding, cobra, and exhale, child's pose. And again, deep inhale, finding your cobra, finding child's pose. Final time coming forward, and let's stay here for a little bit longer. So engaging through the glutes, pushing through the palms, especially in the side of the palms. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then pushing back to your child's pose. Elongating the spine, pulling the fingers away from the body a little bit more, keeping the elbows lifted, letting the tailbone pull towards the heels. Deep breath in and deep breath out, sinking into the legs, into the mat. Inhale, rolling up the hands and knees. We'll step the right leg in between the hands, finding a lunge position. Let's interlace the fingers and place the palms on top of the thigh close to the knee. engaging through the legs, pushing down through the front heel, and then nice and controlled, bringing the hips forward as much as feels comfortable for you. Aiming to tuck the pelvis slightly here, pulling the belly in, engaging the core. And one more deep breath here. Then exhale, placing the hands coming back. Let's change the leg. So inhale, left leg steps in between the hands, interlacing the fingers, placing the hands on top of the thigh, engaging, then bringing those hips forward and down. So deep inhale and exhale, engaging a little bit more. And deep breath in and exhale, bringing the palms down to the ground, coming back to hands and knees. Let's find a seated position. So bending the knees, placing the feet flat on the floor. Let's take a twist here. So inhale, lengthening the spine, and then the right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, and looking over that left shoulder, placing the left hand on the ground behind you. So always finding the length through the spine before then twisting. And then deep inhale, lengthening a little bit more. And exhale, pulling the belly in, maybe twisting deeper if that feels comfortable. And gently releasing, switching the sides. So the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthening, and then twisting. And counting the breaths here. So deep inhale, lengthening a little bit more, belly and chest pushing forward, and deep exhale, pulling the belly in, rotating even deeper, using those core muscles to pull you into the stretch gradually more and more. And releasing. All right, let's lift the feet off the ground, bringing the ankles in line with the knees. We'll find a supported boat pose here. So we'll just hold the legs, pull the belly in, nice straight spine still. See if you can point the toes and holding the balance and stability here. So deep breath in and deep exhale, tightening the body even more. And one more time. Then exhale, releasing the feet. Let's flex the feet, then bend the right foot, place it on top of the left thigh, so just slightly above the knee. Let's rotate the ankle. So grabbing on to the ankle with the right hand, and the left hand supports the foot in slow circles here. And then we'll take a cradle the baby. So a modified version here. We'll place the foot into the hand. If you can bring the foot into the elbow, you can do that. But that can feel a little challenging. So just pushing the foot into the hand and then gently rocking from side to side, aiming to lift that foot in line with the elbow and the shoulder. Okay, releasing, placing that foot on the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, lifting the arms overhead and folding from the hips. Keeping a micro bend in the knee. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, and exhale, folding deeper. Deep belly breaths here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, and coming back up to seated, we'll interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. If you can't sit up straight here, you can sit on top of the block, or you can bend a little bit through that left knee to help bring the spine up. I'm going to straighten out my knee. So inhale, lifting, and exhale, lowering. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, coming back down. Keep going. On your next inhalation, lifting and then holding. And then releasing. Switch the sides. So left ankle comes on top of the right thigh, taking those ankle rolls in one direction. And then switching the direction. So bringing that foot into the right palm or in the elbow if you did that before. Let's gently rock the leg side to side. Slow, intentional movements here. Bringing that left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, extending the arms overhead and folding forward. And again, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. 5 deep breaths here. Especially being aware of the exhalation. See if you can lengthen the exhale a little bit more, putting maybe a little bit of sound on it. And inhale, coming up. Interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh. And inhale, extending. And exhale, bending the knee. Inhale, extension. And exhale, bending. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Inhale, lifting, engaging. And exhale, coming back down. Final time, inhale, lifting. And then holding for a moment. Holding. And gently releasing. Alright, let's find our way onto hands and knees once again. And then we'll lift the knees, find a high plank position. Work on building a little bit of strength through the shoulders and the core here. So deep breath in, deep breath out. One more time, deep breath in, and on your exhalation, lowering the knees. And deep breath in here. And then exhale, lowering the chest to a baby chaturanga. Inhale, finding a baby cobra. And then exhale, pushing back gently to a child's pose. And then inhale, rolling back up to hands and knees. We'll do that again. So lifting the knees. Deep inhale here. Deep exhalation. Inhaling once again. And then exhalation, lowering the knees. Inhale, low plank, and exhale, lowering in your baby chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, pushing back to child's pose. Inhale, coming back up to hands and knees. Exhale, lifting the knees. Inhale, staying, and deep exhalation. And again, inhale, staying, and exhale, lowering the knees. Deep inhale, staying, then exhale, gently lowering to the ground, baby chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, pushing back to child's pose. Inhale, rolling up to hands and knees. Let's find our way into our first downward dog. So downward dog is just a challenging position, but we work on the strength by just trying and trying. So pushing through the hands, putting the weight on the inside of the palms, sending that weight back into the feet. And it's alright if your heels are lifted. And one more deep breath here. Engaging the core, pushing the floor away. And then our next inhalation, looking up between the hands, walking or stepping up to the hands. And then gently rolling up, finding a standing position. We'll take one Surya Namaskara here together, super slow. We'll tuck the pelvis, engage the legs and the glutes, pull the belly in, engaging the core. Bring the hands in front of the chest, and then inhale, lifting the arms overhead. Slight back bend here. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stepping the right foot back into a low lunge. And exhale, planting the hands, pushing back to a downward facing dog. Deep inhale here. And then on your next exhalation, lowering the knees, the chest, and the chin to the ground. Let's stay here for one deep breath. So deep breath in and deep breath out. On your next inhalation, finding your cobra. You can either take a baby cobra or the full cobra this time. And then exhale, pushing back to downward dog. Inhale, stepping the left foot in front of the hands, low lunge. And then exhale, joining the feet, folding forward. Inhale, lifting the arms overhead, looking up towards the hands, slight back bend here. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, rising up and bending back. Exhale, folding forward. We'll take the left side. So inhale, left leg steps back to your low lunge. And exhale, planting the palms, pushing back to your downward facing dog. Deep inhale here. And then exhale, your knees, chest, and chin lower down to the ground so the hips are lifted here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, either taking a baby cobra or your full cobra. And exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg steps in between the hands, low lunge. Exhale, joining the feet, forward fold. Inhale, lifting the arms overhead, looking up and back. Exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart. Okay, well done. Let's bring the feet to hip distance. Generous bend of the knees, and then hinging at the hips, grabbing onto the elbows. We'll take a ragdoll here. So releasing through the upper body, so relaxing through the back, through the neck, through the head, and completely letting go, letting the legs bear the weight here. Gently rocking from side to side if that feels comfortable. Then placing the fingers on the ground, bringing the feet out to a wider stance, toes slightly turning out towards the side. And then we'll inhale, bring the hips down towards the ground to a yogi squat as far as feels comfortable. Then on your exhalation, lifting the hips to a forward fold. So inhale, lowering, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gently lowering, so maybe they only bend a tiny bit, which is completely fine. You have something to work on over time. Continuing with your breath. Dynamic movements. Either continuing the dynamic movements, or if you feel comfortable lowering the hips even lower, you can come into a static Malasana Yogi squat here. If you can't sit comfortably, you can always place a block underneath the hips. Or again, just continuing with the dynamic movements from Malasana to forward fold. Nice straight spine here if you're seated. Pulling the knees out to the side, pushing through the heels. And take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out, lifting the hips. And then bringing the toes together, bringing the feet together, placing the hands, stepping back to a high plank. So here you can either lower the knees if this is too challenging, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, lift the knees and then gently lower, bending the elbows as slowly as possible, coming onto the belly. Okay, let's find our Sphinx pose. So rolling the shoulders back and down, pushing the hands into the ground, and closing the eyes here. Bringing the awareness back to the breath. Slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Bringing the awareness to the belly, the rise and the fall of the belly as it pushes into the mat and as it gently releases. Okay, and let's roll onto our back, finding a Shavasana. We'll take a fairly short Shavasana today. our corpse pose. And letting the palms face up, letting the feet roll out, and removing all movement from the body, and relaxing the body in a relaxed natural breath, and a relaxed mind. And then we'll get ready to come out of our Shavasana, so gently and slowly finding a seated position, crossing the ankles, placing the hands on the knees, just keeping the eyes closed for a moment. Finish off with one deep breath in through the nose, and deep breath out through the nose. And one more time, deep breath in, and deep breath out. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart, and bowing down to the hands. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Have an amazing day.